Hi everybody, my name is Milena Mori and this is Helena Mamich. Dr. Helena Mamich, and medical doctor and a soprano of classical music. And today we'll speak about hormonal health.
Yes, we'll say a few sentences about hormonal health and how is it linked with our emotions, and also vice versa, how emotions are linked to our hormonal health.
Yeah, so very interesting, I think, especially for women and also for men out there, is we don't really know a lot about hormones, and when we do know something, it's basically two: estrogen and testosterone.
True, because
But there's so many more.
Yeah, I agree, because also even when we study to become general practitioner, we only have very small chapter regarding endocrinology. It is a medical branch that explores hormonal status. So, to say it briefly, I remember when I was in my undergrad, and we did internal medicine in year 4, and endocrinology was part of internal medicine, and I remember it was just very small fragment of internal medicine, so it is explored in very small quantities, and once we do our internal medicine exam, then very seldom actually we have opportunities to explore it in much wider spectrum. And regarding endocrinology, that is so rarely explored part of medicine, and that's why we decided to say a few sentences in order to be helpful for general population, because nowadays, living in a very stressful conditions, they mostly lead to hormonal disbalance. Having extremely high load of emotional disbalance can be very detrimental for our hormonal status. So we are going to also explore and also answer some very general questions about emotional health, but also about some endocrinological questions that are quite frequent, but also some rare types that we meet up in clinical endocrinology, also in general medicine.
And we would love to hear from you. So if you have any questions regards hormones, what it means, today I'd love to ask Helena about, what are some symptoms, for example, if this hormone is out of balance, if that hormone is out of balance. For us as a population right now, there is a lot of stress, a lot of sleepless nights. We're over glorifying the business, the workaholism, getting out there and just sleeping. We can do it once we're dead, kind of thing. So what that does, it totally screws with our hormonal system, doesn't it? So we're talking about adrenal glands, they're like fried. We're talking about all the bad hormones like cortisol, where if you have too much cortisol coming from stress, you gain body fat and weight around your midsection.
True. A very interesting topic is actually when we have high level of cortisol. In this case, it is rarely recognized as disbalance of adrenal gland hormone cortisol, because we just tend to give it other type of diagnosis. If we have sudden gain weight, then we first go, okay, let's go to gynecologist to check the hormonal status, but gynecologist frequently does not refer to cortisol, and that is the part tends to be missing very frequently. But once we conclude that gynecological hormones are in balance, then we should really pay attention to have our cortisol checked, especially the morning level of cortisol at 8 o'clock and cortisol at 4 o'clock afternoon, because there are peaks of cortisol when it is released in the bloodstream. It is just before waking up. That's why we do the blood testing in early morning and at the relative end of the day, let's say. It is like an office job.
Yeah.
8 and 4.
So today I'd like to know, is there a difference between men and women when they have a disbalance in cortisol levels? Like, what are the symptoms?
The symptoms are mainly retention of water, also gaining of cellulite on specific parts of our body, getting also gain weight in a very short period of time.
So that's cortisol.
Yes, but even without changing any kind of dietary plan. And we can also see that if person tells you, okay, I'm doing exercise regularly, I'm eating normally, so no junk food, no too much salt, so dietary habits are the same, then we really should question what is happening with adrenal glands in this case.
And so, what are some of the major things you would tell a patient, man or woman, to balance their cortisol levels, adrenaline levels?
All right. The first thing is to take referral from your GP and to pay a visit to endocrinologist who has wide experience, especially from endocrinology of adrenal gland. Also, when we do the blood testing of the cortisol, and if it is proved that cortisol level is high, then first of all we should start with planning of our correct workout.
So exercise is a prescription, yes?
Yes, it is the first thing. And second thing is correction of diet.
So with exercise, I can tell you, weightlifting does much more wonders than running, because when you do running on the treadmill, it actually releases more cortisol. So it's doing yoga, gentle weightlifting that will decrease your cortisol.
Yes, I agree. So in this case, I would not agree that aerobic fitness would be ideal. It is actually the opposite effect we would have. It would release more cortisol.
So aerobic releases cortisol, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Especially cortisol starts to release rapidly after an hour of exercise.
Afterwards.
Yes, it is like post-exercise stress of cortisol.
Wow.
In some terms described.
No running.
Yes, no running, but stretching, yoga, ballet,
Weightlifting.
swimming, weightlifting. It can be beneficial because it builds our muscle fiber. What is the case in the excessive production of cortisol? We just have more production of fat tissue and we lose the muscular weight.
Yeah. So something that is more slower. So ballet and dancing is another way to...
Yes.
So it's like a meditation in motion.
Yes.
And what about the Eastern alternative meditation and like those practices?
It can also help to reduce that post-exercising stress. So it would be an excellent option to have time for meditation after the workout. So after Pilates or yoga or ballet, just 5 to 10 minutes, not more than that, but just to acquire that breathing technique. So it also impacts your releasing of cortisol.
So, breathing. Helena being a singing coach, and I've taught some yoga before, and breathing is incredibly important, right? So I would some things that I would practice is long breath in for example, 4 seconds breath in, 4 seconds hold, 4 seconds breathe out, 4 seconds hold. And after about 10 times, the central nervous system calms down.
Yes, it's true.
And what would you recommend? Like, what type of breathing exercises can influence our hormonal health?
Very basic breathing exercises. Actually, it is just inhaling air and so let it last for a few seconds, inhaling, and then holding your breath for a few seconds, then releasing it. So you can one can just sing it through vowel, certain vowel, or just breathe out. If it is not possible for the first time to produce a vowel, but it is very beneficial to, certain vowel, a, e, I, o, u.
Pick a favorite.
Yeah, of course, but I recommend it is best to start with u, because it relaxes the vocal cords.
Really?
Yes.
So, ooh.
Yes.
Can you give an example? So it's...
Just following that natural breathing out process, and it is very comfortable, so it does not make like strain of your voice, and makes you feel very relaxed in this position.
Yeah, and it sounds beautifully when you do it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And so, and maybe one more question: how much does rest and sleep has to do with the health of our hormonal states, adrenals, and cortisol?
Sleeping has very huge impact on our hormonal balance, because cortisol starts to be induced around 4 o'clock in the morning, or 2 hours prior to our waking up. So once we put good habits of relatively early going to bed and waking up a little bit earlier, then our biorhythm is going to be, how to say, very nice, gentle towards us. Because
happy body, happy hormones.
Once we force ourselves to go to bed at least 1:45 midnight, we are going to be refreshed in the morning. Even at 6 o'clock we have to wake up. And it is a very good balance also for cortisol, because it is 2 hours after the beginning of releasing of cortisol.
So this is what we can do. Have a good rest, go to bed 1:45 midnight latest. Check your hormonal levels. So if you're gaining too fast weight and you don't know why, go to a GP and then go to a
endocrinologist.
Yeah.
And also endocrinologist is going to prescribe certain laboratory tests that one will have to do afterwards, and also prescribe a certain type of dieting, exercising, or even in some more difficult cases corticosteroids. But those are reserved really for those extreme cases, because endocrinologists really love to avoid as much as possible prescription of any kind of medicine that is beneficial for a certain condition, but also can be harmful for other body systems. So
exercise,
it's
and
beneficial. Dance,
sleep,
ballet, sleep. It is a blessing.
Yeah, it's the medicine, and it's the youth elixir as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Helena, thank you so much. So today we covered the two of the hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. Next time I'd like to speak about serotonin, oxytocin, the happy love hormones. So if you have any questions and you want to ask Dr. Helena Mamich about your hormones, please let us know. If you have any topic that you would love us to cover, please let us know. And thank you for watching. We're sending you a lot of love from Split.